Would you tell me, as an American tourist, how do you pronounce your name?
Brigitte Bardot.
Brigitte Bardot. And when were you born?
28th of September.
I was born 28th of September.
Yes?
Yeah, so I've always been rooting for you because we born in the same year. I'll go slower.
Slowly, yes.
Say, perhaps it's because this is to teach people.
To teach people.
To teach, as a lesson to people.
Yes?
That a glamour girl, it's a very difficult life.
Oh, yes.
You see?
It's a very difficult life.
Now,
difficult for me.
I think you've handled it very, very well. Now, what will you do after you retire?
Nothing.
Tu n'es qu'un appareil à soupir, un appareil à sourire. À ce jeu, je ne joue pas, je n'aime pas cet opéra de 4 soupirs. Cet air que tu as de sourire, je ne pourrais qu'en souffrir.
Qu'est-ce qui t'arrive?
Vous voyez pas que je m'amuse?
Alors viens, ça suffit.
Vous connaissez un pays où les gens ne pensent qu'à danser et à rire?
Je vais t'y amener,
C'est loin.
de l'autre côté de la terre.
Je voudrais ne plus penser à rien.
C'est pour ça que je suis ici, Juliette.
Somebody big just died. Sex symbol, actress, and singer Brigitte Bardot is dead at 91 years old. And my friend Mike North is here to help deliver her eulogy. Mike, how you doing, my friend? Long time no see.
Yeah, Joe, the last person that we featured on Somebody Big Just Died was Rob Reiner, of course. A different situation than this young lady who got to live into her 90s, Brigitte Bardot. And we'll talk about Brigitte. And I'll tell you all about her because I was around. Yeah, another one I was around for. But one of the most sizzling glamour girls, as Ed Sullivan called her. But you were right. Sex symbol now is the term, but she never looked at herself as that. But we'll talk about that in a minute. But we can't do this show without the great people that sponsor this show. And that, of course, is Cumberland Chapels, ladies and gentlemen. 8300 West Lawrence Avenue, Norridge, Illinois. Anthony Lupo, Sr., Jr., Peter Martino, Louis A. Martino. They've been serving the families of this area and of the Chicagoland area for decades, ladies and gentlemen. They have plenty of chapel space, plenty of parking. There are some testimonials of people that have recently passed away. Some bummers on Christmas Eve, if you can see, and on Christmas Day, just absolutely bad news. And but it's news that happens to everybody. And then you go and you make arrangements. And these guys, these people have been the top of the heap of anybody around as far as funeral chapels are concerned. They're featured in Sebastian Maniscalco's act and other things. So they're big time. That's Cumberland Chapels. And hopefully you won't need them for a while, fans, and folks. But you know what? When you do need somebody, give them a call. They walk you through everything. They take care of you. And then we have Pennyville Station, Tony Antonacci, Tino Antonacci, the ambassador of the North Side restaurants in Chicago and of the Northwest Side and the suburbs. Pennyville Station. His son Tony owns it. Tino can be there Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. Tony's there in the evenings. Well, he's there all day, to be honest with you. There it is during calmer times before the snow hit us and we're getting killed with the snow. There I am with Jesse Rogers, Tony Antonacci, the proprietor, 112 Main Street, Park Ridge. They have wonderful features like a happy hour every day from 2 until 5. Valid in-house only. Can't take it out now. Can't order a bunch of Blue Point oysters and just leave. $2.50 served with cocktail sauce. raw horseradish, $6 truffle fries, kapow! Cauliflower, filet sliders, Tito's frozen lemonade, $8. Yingling, Miller and Miller High Life, Yingling, and all that. So we appreciate Cumberland Chapel's Pennyville station. We definitely do. Ladies and gentlemen, I tell Joe all the time, and Joe, first of all, I'd like to give condolences. You lost your pet yesterday.
Thank you.
Great Dane. What was your dog's name?
Yeah, somebody big just died for me. My Great Dane Maverick. We had to put him down yesterday. So
Yeah.
just heavy heart, but just know that when they're at peace, it makes things a little easier.
Yeah, because he was struggling at the end, like my dogs that I had to put to sleep. Most dogs are put to sleep and that can still function, but then can't function. And you know, you held on for as long as you could, and you did him well. So Maverick, God bless too. Somebody big just died. Maybe you could put a picture of him up at the end, Joe, if you can find some time.
Sure.
Brigitte Bardot. I always tell Joe, look, I know that the last thing this person or that person did was 1987. Okay. They're not big enough. They stopped doing what they do. This is an odd case. This is Brigitte Bardot. I could watch. In fact, Joe sent me the Open this morning. I watched her in that dance twice. Okay. She's the best argument to let the women wear clothes and let your imagination run wild.
Absolutely.
She was a dancer, singer, actress. She was an activist. She was an animal lover, big time animal lover. So it's sort of weird with Maverick and Brigitte Bardot because she spent most of her retirement years taking care of animals and everything else. So I just want to say, first of all, that she was pre-Raquel for me. So in 1952, I'm born. She's hot from 58 to like 71, 72. I think she retired in 1973. You heard Ed Sullivan, who interviewed everybody. Nobody interviewed more people than this guy in the history of the media. He said, well, what are you going to do when you decide to retire? She goes, nothing. But she did everything. It's just she battled government. She battled immigration. She battled people that were mean to animals. She just left the movie. She was worth $65 million.
Jeez.
Yeah. And because she made so many movies in her career. One of the rare women that look good as a blonde or a brunette. I prefer
any hair color. Yep.
Any hair color. There she is, just lounging. Now, she was more talented than Raquel. There's no question about it. Raquel's my girl, but I got to be straight up. The problem with Brigitte Bardot is a lot of her movies were in French. In a lot of movies, most of them were in French. She was with people like Alain de Leon and others that were big actors in Paris and other places. She basically was the type of woman that when we used to rummage through the alleys looking for Playboys as kids, there'd be nude pictures. Like it was called something like Europe in cinema. In America, back in the 50s and 60s and early 70s and hell into the 80s, censors had to put clothes on the women, okay, in America. In Europe, there's movies with Brigitte Bardot where she's naked. And they're beautiful movies. They're not porn or anything like that. And then you'd see the pictorial in Playboy and you'd be going, damn, why can't we see Anne Margaret like that? Why can't we see Raquel Welch like that? Why can't we see Marilyn Monroe like that?
Sure.
Better actress than Marilyn Monroe. And in my opinion, as sexy and as beautiful as Marilyn Monroe for the same amount of time. She was born in Paris. But let me tell you about some of her honors, okay? She was a French actress, model, singer, animal rights activist. She became one of the best-known symbols of the sexual revolution just by showing up. After she retired from the entertainment business in 1973, became a pop culture icon. Now, Joe, I don't know if you ever heard of her. before, because a lot of times we go to these things and you've heard of some people, but you knew who Brigitte Bardot was. You heard her.
I knew the name, but I
Right.
I couldn't place the face until I looked it up. But yes,
Until you
totally.
looked it up. There she is. Look at that face. Beautiful.
Yep.
She recorded more than 60 songs. She was awarded the Legion of Honor. That's like the big shot, of France. Okay. She gained international fame for portraying characters associated with hedonistic lifestyle. She was born in Paris, very affluent, being brought up. She made a ton of movies. In 1973, she retired from acting. She also got involved culturally. Look at that dance. Look at that. I watch that all day. He's not happy. He's not happy.
No.
Anyway, she was against what a lot of people are fighting now throughout a lot of countries. She was against the Muslims coming to France. She said and as it turns out, we'll find out if she was right or wrong. But France has not been well in the last 10, 15, 20 years because of so many people coming in. She was against that. She took heat for being called, a racist and stuff like that. But she never ducked from controversy. She was a person that believed in herself. She used her celebrity to help certain things. Okay. She was born on September 28th, 1934. Okay. Her father was an engineer and a proprietor of several big factories and industries. She was well-to-do. She grew up in a Catholic family. She suffered from amblyopia as a child, which resulted in decreased vision of her left eye. Who was looking at her one eye? You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying.
I don't know if anybody was.
Yeah. Her childhood was prosperous. She lived in a family's seven bedroom apartment in the luxurious area of Paris. But she was resentful in the early years. Her father demanded that she follow strict behavioral standards. She was well brought up, including good table manners, wear appropriate clothes. Her mother was highly selective in choosing companions for her, so they were overbearing parents. She had very few childhood friends. She was around Paris when the Nazis occupied it. She spent more time at home due to the increased strict civilian surveillance. Look at that's a great picture of her too. That's just living. She went to school 3 days a week, which gave her ample time to take dance lessons at a local studio under her mother's arrangements. In 1949, Bardot was accepted at the Conservatoire of de Paris. She attended ballet classes held by Russian choreographer Boris Knyazov for 3 years. She also studied at the Institut de la Tour, a private Catholic high school near her home. So well brought up, strict behavior, yet she was a rebel within her family, no matter what they told her. She had the books and everything else. Her career began really in 1952. I was born in 52. And the beginnings are from like 1952 to 1955. She did small movies in France until she eventually became huge in 1956. Her stardom in France, number one stardom, was from 1956 to 1962. She appeared in 4 movies, which made her a star. She was in musicals. I can only imagine how good these were, called Naughty Girl. Okay. Yes. She played a troublesome schoolgirl. Of course she did. It was co-written by Roger Vadim. Now, Roger Vadim was married to some beautiful, if you look him up, you can look up the people that he was married to. And I'll tell you that this guy was a mover and a shaker and not a terribly attractive man, if you want to know the truth, but he was a big time producer. Joe will look up who Roger Vadim was married to besides Brigitte Bardot. And you'll go, damn, he was married to her and to her and to her. It was followed by a comedy, that one movie, Plucking the Daisy. I can only imagine the double entendre with that. The Bride is Much Too Beautiful, and God Created Women. She was on the cover of every magazine you could find.
Holy smokes, Mike.
Okay, Joe, do you have the list?
Roger Vadim married to Brigitte Bardot,
1,
Annette Streuberg,
2,
Jane Fonda,
Jane Fonda, 3.
Catherine Schneider,
How are
and,
you?
and Marie Christine Baralt.
Yeah, but the two that held out to me, Bardot and Fonda. You know,
Yeah,
I'm going,
crazy.
there you go. That's a full day's work. International films, her singing career, 62 to 68. She made comedies with Vadim, Please Not Now, and had a role in her all-star anthology, Famous Love Affairs. These are just movies that none of us will know, but I have to give credit where credit is due because she's big. Somebody big just died.
Right.
She spent most of her time in France. In fact, most of it, if not all of it, in France. She didn't really do the Hollywood thing. If you saw the Ed Sullivan interview at the beginning of the show, she could hardly even speak English. So, I mean, she couldn't even understand. There's Roger Vadim. That guy there, he could lay the hose, ladies and gentlemen. Look at him. And not a terrible, like I told, not a terribly attractive man, but a powerful man. Probably the gift of gab. Who knows? And whatever things, okay? For a few years, though, her career started to subside from 69 to like 73. So what does she do? They're trying to tell her maybe get some other vehicles, do something else. She goes, I quit. I'm not doing anything. So she was retired 52 years. 52 years and was relevant all the way to the end. Like I said earlier, I tell Joe we can't
Unreal.
do that person. But she was relevant in an intellectual way, whether you agreed with her or not, with her stances, okay? First of all, I know Joe and I will agree with this. She was involved in animal rights, okay?
She sure was.
She was against horses, using horses for food and stuff like that. She was against using science to experiment with dogs. And there she is. You know how many guys wanted to be petted like that? And there she is with a chimpanzee. I mean, she was herself. She was a strong rights activist and a major opponent of the consumption of horse meat. In 1989, while looking after her neighbor, Jean Perot Marriott's donkey, listen to this. She had the donkey's older mare, and she subsequently had the neighbor's donkey castrated due to concerns the mating would prove fatal for her mare. So she got sued, and she won the suit. But it was a false scandal, they're saying, and everything else. Bardot urged French television viewers to boycott horse meat, was soon the target of death threats in January 1994, not backing off from the threats. Now, this is 1994 now, long way from when she retired, okay? She sent a letter to the Minister of Agriculture. Bardot wrote a 1999 letter to the People's Republics of China, President Chiang, published in a French magazine in which she accused the Chinese of torturing bears and killing the world's last tigers and rhinos to make aphrodisiacs. She donated more than $140,000 over 2 years in 2001 for mass neutering and adoption program for Bucharest stray dogs, estimated to number 300,000. So she paid for it. She paid for it all. So it wouldn't put the dogs in danger. Okay, that's why I said today with the death of Maverick, Joe's Great Dane, beautiful Great Dane, I'm going, wow, how weird is this? You know, because there he is. Look at him.
Oh, there's my Mav. Miss my buddy.
Only 6 years old. And there expectancy, I believe, of 8 or 9, Joe, something like that.
What's that?
What's their life expectancy? 8?
Usually
7, 8?
It's 7 or 8, but
yeah. That God does not make, and you know, by the way, dog is God spelled backwards, but God didn't do dogs any favor by giving them such a short lifespan. And me and Bibi have put 2 to sleep also. And I know Brigitte Bardot probably did the same thing for many dogs in a humane way.
She loved her dog.
She loved her dogs, and
she is with one right there.
She was against. Look at that. She was against bullfighting. She was against the sea aquariums that you see. She might be considered over the top. I happen to like places like SeaWorld. Of course, I'm not a whale living at SeaWorld, but they always seem pretty big to me. But you know what? They're born to be in the ocean. So I went to one show once. I don't think I'd ever go again. I enjoyed it. The otters, the walruses, I can handle that. But you had sharks, you have, stingrays, whatever. Now, Bardot had a habit of going barefoot in the streets of Saint-Tropez, Capri. I bet you that was a sight, okay?
Wow.
Which became a part of her public image and was incorporated into her character, Juliet, in And God Created Women, okay? Her relationships, she was married 4 times, okay? Her final marriage lasting longer than the previous 3 combined by her own count. She had a total of 17 romantic relationships.
My goodness.
Often left one partner for another when, in her words, the present was getting lukewarm.
Huh.
Yeah, BB told me that about a month ago. My presence was becoming lukewarm. I better check that out. Look at this woman with the bare feet. Good luck. God bless. Roger Vadim married her when she was 18.
Oh
Okay.
my gosh.
Yeah. They separated in 1956 after she became involved with her co-star from And God Created Woman, Jean-Louis Trintignant. And I'm going to tell you something. They should make a biography on this woman's life. My God.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
She makes Marilyn Monroe look like a hobo. I'm sorry. That's our lady from the 50s. Brigitte Bardot was more accomplished in a lot of areas than Marilyn Monroe was. Attaboy, Vince McMahon. She was also married to Jacques Charrier. She also got pregnant. Listen to this. Bardot became pregnant before she and Charrier married. Bardot was dismayed. She had previously stated, I am not a mother, nor do I want to be one, and sought to seek an abortion. However, abortion was illegal at the time in France. In her book, Initially, BB Memories, she recalled, I looked at my fat, slender belly in the mirror like a dear friend upon whom I was about to close a coffin. She didn't want to lose her looks. She didn't think she'd be a good mother. Her child's still alive today. So they didn't have the abortion. And that's a good argument for people that are against abortion. There she is. And she looks happy there, doesn't she?
Yeah,
so
she does.
It looked, she didn't want it. But I know this, she wouldn't change that she had it.
Absolutely.
She got to live with her kid. Okay. She became a grandmother with that child. Okay. Because of that child that she wanted aborted at first. Okay. When she had daughters, her daughter, they had a kid in 85 and 90. She tried to make peace with him on multiple occasions, but to no avail. So there was hard feelings. She didn't have a good relationship. Her third marriage was the German millionaire playboy Gunther Sachs, lasting from the 14th of July, 66 to 7th of October, 1969. That's 3 years. That's like a date. That's like an engagement. Okay.
Yeah, really. And
they had separated the previous year. Her fourth husband was Bernard D'Aumale, who had been described as a former advisor to a right-wing politician. They were married from the 16th of August, 1992 until her death. So like they said, she was married longer to this guy than she was to the others. She had relationships with other people. Sean Connery, she rebuffed his advances. She says, I'm not a Bond girl. But she also got together with guys like Warren Beatty, of course, John Gilmore.
Wow.
And other people. Like they said, she had 17. Her wealth was around 65 million in US dollars. And she hadn't worked since 72.
Yeah, she's doing all right.
She did all right for herself. Bardot acquired a historic property dating from the 16th century called La Castella. I'm trying to do this the best I can. And it was in Cannes. That's where they have the film festival. That's high end.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
She had I don't even know how you can call this a villa. She had a 14-bedroom villa surrounded by gardens, olive trees, vineyards, several buildings. She listed it for sale. She got $6 million for it. She had another property located in Saint-Tropez, which she bought for $24 million back in the day.
Jeez.
Okay. Her politics were what they would call, at least Wikipedia does, because they have a way of doing extreme and this and that. She was extreme, but they call her a right winger. Okay. In 2008, she was convicted of inciting racial religious hatred. Regarding a letter she wrote, a copy of which she sent to Nicolas Sarkozy when he was the Minister of Interior. The letter stated her objections to Muslims in France, ritually slaughtering sheep by slitting their throats without giving them anesthesia first. Wow. She also said in reference to Muslims that she was fed up with being under the thumb of the population, which was destroying France, destroying our country and imposing its habits. The trial concluded, resulting in a conviction of her and a fine of 15,000 marks or whatever the hell. The prosecutor stated she was wary of charging Bardot with offenses related to racial hatred. It wasn't about racial hatred. It's that she thought the people there, and it's happening, folks, weren't acclimating to the French way. So she spoke up. And because she spoke up to tell basically a lot of the truths, not all, but some truths, she got convicted of crimes. They don't have no Second Amendment in Paris, okay, or in even Britain, or other places, or First Amendment, or Fifth Amendment. They don't have any amendments where you can talk and be free, or you can carry a gun like in the Second Amendment in certain situations.
Her politics were in the news today, Mike. Pop star Chapel Roan put out a tweet saying how she was an icon and rest in peace, yada, yada, yada. And then she deleted it and issued an apology.
Who deleted it? Brigitte Bardot?
No, Chapel Roan, the pop star.
Oh, Chapel Roan.
She deleted it, and then she put out a new tweet saying how she was insensitive and racist. And
well, see, a person like that, it's a journalist, so it doesn't surprise me. I know plenty of journalists that are two-faced. Believe me, they're like that in sports. Okay, but she's that person there. Is that a man or a woman?
Chapel Roan is a woman. She's a big pop singer.
Yeah. What a piece of crap to put out something nice, and then because of backlash and afraid of your own stuff, you go the other way. You shouldn't have printed anything. You shouldn't have said anything then. You look worse this way.
You didn't know your
history of Brigitte Bardot. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that Brigitte Bardot was convicted of hate crimes or whatever. She was still iconic in a lot of ways, and a lot of people were mourning her in France. A lot of people didn't even care about her politics, and they still are. Like the woman who turned on her after being polite. She had to find out later on. She's an idiot. Her health was followed, in the 50s. She attempted suicide, Brigitte Bardot.
Oh.
She had a reported nervous breakdown. Press reports also noted a possible suicide attempt with sleeping pills 2 days earlier, a claim that was denied by her public relations manager. Okay, that's what you're there for.
Of course it was.
She recovered within several weeks. You recover from the flu within several days. So she probably did do what they said she would do. Bardot died on the 28th of December in her home in Saint-Tropez. She was 91. And French President Emmanuel Macron paid tribute to Bardot on social media, describing her as a legend of the century. The Social Protection Diana, France's oldest animal protection organization, also paid tribute to Bardot, describing her as iconic and passionate figure for animal causes. So she did some good, she did some bad, she did some in between, but she didn't retire like she said at 72. She just retired from entertainment. Because
she stayed active in multiple ways.
She was hauled in 6 different times for hate speech, convicted a couple times by just saying what she thought a lot of other Parisians said. That's her. When you're 89, 90, 91, that's not bad. I mean, for a grandmother, but she definitely had her troubles, nervous breakdown, suicide, wanted to get an abortion from her kid who's estranged from her, got married at 18 to Roger Vadim, got married 4 times.
Lived to
got-
91.
Yeah, got convicted of hate crimes or hate speech, if you will. So, but I do know this. You know, we're going to do it one more time. Let's do the open one more time before we say goodbye, Joe. See if you can get it up there for us. Watch this woman dance, ladies and gentlemen, and then we're going to give an honorable mention. We'll let Joe talk a little bit about his puppy, and then we're going to say our goodbye. Here we go.
All right.
Would you tell me, as an American tourist, how do you pronounce your name?
Brigitte Bardot.
Brigitte Bardot. And when were you born?
28th of September.
I was born 28th of September.
Yes?
Yeah, so I've always been rooting for you because we born in the same year. I'll go slower.
Slowly, yes.
Say, perhaps it's because this is to teach people.
To teach people.
To teach, you know, as a lesson to people.
Yes?
That a glamour girl, it's a very difficult life.
Oh, yes.
You see?
It's a very difficult life.
Now, what do you-
Difficult for me.
I think you've handled it very, very well. Now, what will you do after you retire?
Nothing.
Tu n'es qu'un appareil à soupir, un appareil à sourire. À ce jeu, je ne joue pas, je n'aime pas cet opéra de 4 soupirs. Cet air que tu as de sourire, je ne pourrais qu'en souffrir.
Qu'est-ce qui t'arrive?
Vous voyez pas que je m'amuse?
Alors viens, ça suffit.
Vous connaissez un pays où les gens ne pensent qu'à danser et à rire.
Je vais t'y amener,
C'est loin.
de l'autre côté de la terre.
Je voudrais ne plus penser à rien.
C'est pour ça que je suis ici, Juliette.
And by the way, that actor was one of the great, I mean, he-men macho actors of all time. He was German and Austrian. He played in a lot of war movies. He usually played on the other side. He was in some submarine movies. Kurt Jurgens was a famous actor that did a lot of work here in America. Now, Joe, you lost Maverick. When did you get Maverick? Let's see a picture of Maverick again, my friend.
In a second, I think I might have accidentally deleted it, but I got Maverick. We got him right when COVID started in 2020.
So it was good. You got to spend time with him.
He was the most spoiled dog ever because
I don't know. My dogs might fight you for that one too. But I just wanted to give a salute to our boy Maverick. 6 years. That's not a long time. And the kids, probably your kid, the other 2 kids, the older one, the one that was a little bit older. How old is the oldest on your family?
my oldest is she's going to be 4 in a couple of weeks.
So
here's
she's
Mav.
areas. So she was starting to, remember him. Huh?
Oh, they loved him, and
And he
we all
protected him,
did.
right?
He did. Great protector, gentle giant, such a sweet baby.
Yeah,
That's our
Yeah.
Maverick. He's resting in heaven. So
that's right.
we're gonna miss him.
That's right. Rainbow Bridge, they call it, where the dogs
right.
go. You'll see my dogs, Lucky and Licorice. You'll see all the lassies, Rin Tin Tin. Somebody out there, he'll hang out. He'll be the big guy on the block. That's for sure. So, Brigitte Bardot, somebody big just died. Maverick, our honorable mention, he was big. Somebody big passed away. And what a show. I mean, stuff that you didn't know about Brigitte Bardot. Coming up, bare their souls. Are you kidding me? I don't do a bear show this year, Joe. And they end
Right.
up having one of the most wonderful seasons of all time. And I give the whole organization credit. I haven't said much about him on the barroom. Aldo and I did shows for 6 years, and they sucked.
They
They
stunk.
suck every year. I say, Aldo, he goes, Mike, I'm going to come back for one. I'm going to do some stuff, but what do you want to do? I said, you know what? I'm going to stick with this. I got some other things. I got ESPN and stuff, but I want to stay with the bar room. I mean, I'm a partner with them, and we've done so much work together.
Yeah.
And they have the greatest season of their life. We would have finally had good times together. We had good times when we did it, but man, what a year for them and
Oh,
for
yeah.
all the people to be doing bear shows. And I just want to say this. People are saying, see, Mike, Caleb, I only described what I saw. This year, I would have said the guy is doing damn good. He's no Drake May, but he's pretty damn good, and he's only going to get better. I mean, Drake May's a second-year guy just like Caleb. He's got a shot at an MVP, and they just knocked off the Buffalo Bills. But Caleb Williams did something even as good. 6 comeback wins with 2 minutes or less left.
Impressive.
Just as good a clutch player for one season as I've seen. Now, let's hope we can carry it on. Ben Johnson, and I admit when I'm wrong, I said he wasn't worth $13 million. He's worth $13 million. Period. End of story.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's my bear soliloquy.
And our boy Aldo's back, and he's on the road to recovery.
Feeling good, Aldo. I don't worry about Aldo. You know, Aldo, he's got resiliency. I heard that.
He does.
So he's my guy. We appreciate.
Coming up at 8:30, you can tune in to Bear Their Souls. Check them out.
That's with Fitz and Tooch. Is that with all the boys?
Yeah, you got Zim, all those guys.
All those guys. All right. Well, you know, and you can check out at North to North, NORTH, number 2 NORTH, or Joe Mandel. You can check out our podcasts, or you could check out everything you need to check out on Twitter. It's the number one thing now. I remember when they were talking Facebook and talking Instagram. It's still huge, but Twitter is number one now, the number one platform going. And we're very appreciative of it, as we are of our sponsors, Cumberland Chapels, and, of course, Pennyville Station. We thank everybody for tuning in. I learned a lot. I think Joe did tonight about a woman that was a sex symbol, great actress, great singer, activist, animal rights, civil rights activist. Unbelievable. Brigitte Bardot. Good night, everybody.